Sure, here's a curated selection of Albert Einstein quotes with no headings or numbering, aiming for around 1,000 words total. These include his thoughts on life, science, imagination, education, and more. Imagination is more important than knowledge. For knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress, giving birth to evolution. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existence. I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. Science without religion is lame, religion without science is blind. The only source of knowledge is experience. Peace cannot be kept by force, it can only be achieved by understanding. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. Weak people revenge, strong people forgive, intelligent people ignore. The world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. Creativity is intelligence having fun. I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university. The difference between stupidity and genius is that genius has its limits. A ship is always safe at shore, but that is not what it's built for. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and all science. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. The value of a man should be seen in what he gives and not in what he is able to receive. It is not that I'm so smart, but I stay with the questions much longer. A human being is part of a whole called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible. Education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. I never think of the future. It comes soon enough. You never fail until you stop trying. There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. It has become appallingly obvious that our technology has exceeded our humanity. I am thankful for all of those who said no to me. It's because of them I'm doing it myself. We still do not know 1,000th of 1% of what nature has revealed to us. I believe in standardizing automobiles. I do not believe in standardizing human beings. If people are good only because they fear punishment, and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed. The only reason for time is so that everything doesn't happen at once. Few are those who see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts. You cannot simultaneously prevent and prepare for war. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. I am enough of an artist to draw freely upon my imagination. Small is the number of people who see with their eyes and think with their minds. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. When the solution is simple, God is answering. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. A question that sometimes drives me hazy: am I or are the others crazy? Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. Not everything that counts can be counted, and not everything that can be counted counts. If I had an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about solutions. Information is not knowledge. The only source of knowledge is experience. Intellectuals solve problems, geniuses prevent them. Any fool can know. The point is to understand. Reading after a certain age diverts the mind too much from its creative pursuits. Once you stop learning, you start dying. To raise new questions, new possibilities, to regard old problems from a new angle requires creative imagination. We act as though comfort and luxury were the chief requirements of life, when all we need to make us really happy is something to be enthusiastic about. Sure, here are more quotes by Albert Einstein, continuing in the same style: no headings, no numbering, just pure quotes. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. I fear the day that technology will surpass our human interaction. The world will have a generation of idiots. You cannot blame gravity for falling in love. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. A calm and modest life brings more happiness than the pursuit of success combined with constant restlessness. The only real valuable thing is intuition. If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. I live in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in the years of maturity. Blind belief in authority is the greatest enemy of truth. Nothing truly valuable arises from ambition or from a mere sense of duty. It stems rather from love and devotion toward men and toward objective things. The most powerful force in the universe is compound interest. The environment is everything that isn't me. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. Gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love. A man should look for what is, and not for what he thinks should be. Out of clutter, find simplicity. From discord, find harmony. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. It is harder to crack a prejudice than an atom. It is my conviction that killing under the cloak of war is nothing but an act of murder. Morality is of the highest importance, but for us, not for God. What is right is not always popular, and what is popular is not always right. The only thing that you absolutely have to know is the location of the library. Unthinking respect for authority is the greatest enemy of truth. Once you can accept the universe as matter expanding into nothing, that is something. Wearing stripes with plaid comes easy. A table, a chair, a bowl of fruit and a violin, what else does a man need to be happy? I love humanity, but I hate humans. The difference between what the most and the least learned people know is inexpressibly trivial in relation to that which is unknown. Memory is deceptive because it is colored by today's events. Common sense is the collection of prejudices acquired by age 18. Solitude is painful when one is young, but delightful when one is more mature. A clever person solves a problem. A wise person avoids it. It is strange to be known so universally and yet to be so lonely. Every day I remind myself that my inner and outer life is based on the labors of other men, living and dead. Nationalism is an infantile disease. It is the measles of mankind. Nothing is more destructive of respect for the government and the law of the land than passing laws which cannot be enforced. If there is any religion that could cope with modern scientific needs, it would be Buddhism. The world is in greater peril from those who tolerate or encourage evil than from those who actually commit it. My passionate sense of social justice and social responsibility has always contrasted oddly with my lack of need for direct contact with other human beings. Anger dwells only in the bosom of fools. I never made one of my discoveries through the process of rational thinking. I have deep faith that the principle of the universe will be beautiful and simple. All religions, arts and sciences are branches of the same tree. The pursuit of knowledge for its own sake, an almost fanatical love of justice, and the desire for personal independence, these are the features of the Jewish tradition which make me thank my stars that I belong to it. If I were to start taking care of my grooming, I would no longer be my own self. The ideals which have always shone before me and filled me with joy are goodness, beauty, and truth.